Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawah Bahashim, Rakahakudash. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say Tawada to all the Akim and Yahawah that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahawah Bahashim Yahawah to the best of their ability. This is Yahawah Nawach. Just coming at you with another quick lesson. I'm praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just something I was reading last night, Proverbs 15:3. It says that the eyes of Yahawah are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. And it just hit me in the spirit that, the Lord, he shows his secrets to his servants, the prophets. Let me get Amos real quick, 3 and 7. I want to jump back on those precepts on that. Because the Lord, if he's dealing with you in the spirit, he's going to be showing you things. He's going to be showing you things of, your enemies, foreknowledge, things to avoid. Sometimes we don't see it, sometimes we do, but overall, the point that I want to make is the Lord, he will reveal things to us, and people will be wondering, well, how did he know that? Okay, so Amos 3 and 7, it says, surely the Lord God Yahawah will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. See that? So the Lord, he reveals his secrets to the servants, the prophets, man. And if the Lord is dealing with you, he's going to reveal certain things to you, whether it's somebody at your job, whether it's somebody in your family, whether it's your neighbor, somebody trying to plot, somebody trying to do this or that. The Lord knows those things. You know what I'm saying? He'll give you a heads up and give you a warning and, give you that, a way out, so to speak, and we believe by the spirit and power of Yahawah Bahashim Yahawah, that's going to happen in these last days as Esau comes down the pipe with, a lot of his draconian shit, because, the Lord is already showing us, what he's doing already. The prophets have been going out on the highways and byways, starting from the apostles for decades, revealing this man's plan. Now, those things are starting to come to pass, and we can see it right before our very eyes. And don't think that they're not watching these videos. They can see that we know their plans, and they're like, well, how the fuck do they know? Because they whether they believe or not, they have to believe, though. You know what I'm saying? That what we're saying is true to a certain extent, or at least the elite of them do. Because they understand and see, like, damn, they are saying exactly what we're going to do and what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? How do they know? Well, let me go back to these precepts and Proverbs. I was just reading this last night. It was just that one verse that stuck out. Proverbs 15:3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. See? So the eyes of the Lord are in every place. There's nowhere that, let me get this one in the Apocrypha too. There's nowhere that the eyes of the Lord are not at, man. The Lord sees everything. You may think that you're getting away with some shit, but you're not. What's that? Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 23. Where we at here? It's that 23 and verse 19. It says, such a man, let me see here. I just want to get to the point. So verse 19. Put a little highlight on that. It says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men. Matter of fact, let me get the verse above it. Verse 18. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? See, I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins. See, this is how, the average person thinks. You know what I'm saying? They get out here, you got sneaky ass bitches. They dipping out on their man. You got sneaky ass men that's dipping out with another man's woman, because that's what adultery really is. If a man is dealing with a woman and he wants to deal with another woman that doesn't have a man, that's not adultery. Adultery is a man dealing with a woman that has a man, and a woman stepping out on her man. That's what adultery is, man. But anyway, verse 19, the point, it says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men. So they like, he don't know, he's kind of snickering and laughing in the backdrop like this nigga don't even know I'm fucking his woman. That kind of shit. That's how these people get down. That's just an example though. This nigga don't know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to, rob him or take this or do that or do this or do that. But see, these people don't know that man's goings of Yahawah Shem Yahushai, right? So it says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men. They sneaking and creeping, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter. Highlight back on it. 10 times. And knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. So the Lord, he revealeth his secrets to his servants, the prophets. So don't be surprised if you like, well, damn, why did that thought just hit me? You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord, he can bring something before you, set it up at, because the Lord, he deals with you in dreams. He deals with everybody in their sleep, actually. You know what I'm saying? But he can reveal something to you, and you'll wake up and be like, well, damn, how And then, it's something that the Lord has shown you that is going to happen in the future. It can be shit within your drive to work, or it can be within a week, or it can be within a month. But, we're seeing future things, that's been happening through the years, so to speak. But the point is, the Lord, he sees all things, knows all things. And if he's dealing with the men of the Lord, then he can show them those very things. You have a tap, and you're tapped in to a power that knows all things and sees all things, which is a beautiful thing, man. Matter of fact, let me get this one in 2 Kings real quick. Always thought this was dope right here. 2 Kings chapter 6, I think it is, verse 12. Let me start at verse 10. Put a little highlight on all these boys. It says, and the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there not once nor twice. Let me see, should I have started up? Let me see. I'll start at verse 8. Salakia, y'all. It says, then the king of Syria warred against Israel, and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such a place shall be my camp. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. Right? And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. See? And he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? So he thinks somebody in his camp, around him is spying out and giving information to Israel. But check out what's being said here, verse 12. And one of his servants said, none, my lord, O king. But Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. See, because the Lord knows, you know what I'm saying? The Lord, if you look back in the Old Testament, you see those wars and some, the things that Israel was going through. The Lord, that's the reason why, King David, that's why it's so important too. The scripture talks about leaning not into your own understanding and choosing none of your own ways. Acknowledge Yahawah in all your ways, and your steps to be ordered by him. Because when you notice King David, and he wanted the ephod, or he wanted to hear from the prophet, or he wanted to hear from the Lord, should he go forth to do such and such, or to go to battle, or do certain things. He wasn't just doing it on his own, because he understood that his power and his foreknowledge comes from Yahawah Shem Yahushai, man. And that's the way that we have to be in these last days, man. Yep. So that, that was the point on that right there. But I always thought that was a dope scripture, even, before I came into this truth, Matter of fact, let's get Daniel real quick. Daniel chapter 2. I want to go back to those precepts too, because there's some precepts on that Proverbs 15:3. But just know, hey man, the Lord, man, he's in control. So, and it should give you some faith, you know what I'm saying, to continue moving, man. When things don't seem, when it seems like you're not winning, no, you're winning, man. Daniel chapter 2, let me start at verse 27. Throw some highlights on these too, Salakia. I like to brighten it up a little bit. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king? But there is a God. See, these people don't know. See, he got to, you know, and that's Esau right now. Let me start at verse 26. Daniel 2 and 26. The king answered and said to Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar, art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen and the interpretation thereof? Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king have demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magicians, the soothsayers show unto the king? So he got all these people around him supposed to have all the answers, right? But they don't. Verse 28, but there is a God in heaven. And see, if you notice, Daniel gave all the honor, glory, and praise to Yahawah, which that's the true name of the Father, Yahawah, which means that he exists, or the existing one. And the true name of the Son is Yahawah Shai, which means that he's the Savior or deliverer in the Paleo-Hebrew. And those names have power. It says, but there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. So Daniel only knew this because Yahawah knew it. Yahawah showed it to him. As for thee, and you had a situation where, you know, he had a dream. This might be the same thing though. Yeah, I think it is. Where, you know, he was going to kill all these people, you know, that couldn't tell him his dream and give him the interpretation of the dream. He wanted them to actually, no, tell me the dream. They basically like, nah, well, you know, who can do that? But this is what Daniel done though. You know, that's the power of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushua, the spirit, you know? But it says, as for the king, verse 29, Daniel 2 and 29, as for thee, O king, thy thoughts came into thy mind upon thy bed, what should come to pass hereafter. And he that revealeth secrets maketh known to thee what shall come to pass. See that? But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living. See? But for their sakes that shall make known the interpretation to the king, and that thou mightest know the thoughts of thy heart. See? So he said it straight up like, hey, it's not anything that has to do with me. And you got a lot of these old, you know, that's how you can really overall tell a crooked ass pastor, or, you know, you know, nigga just out here just like and you got people that worship these wicked ass men, acting as if he's the one that has the power. You know what I'm saying? I know this, or I know that. You know, all in the name of sweet white idolatrous baby Jesus, man. But anyway, let's go back. Let me go back into the blue letter real quick. So now when you go into these precepts, Proverbs 15 and 3 again, it says, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Okay, so now that dude brings to mind Job 33, Salakia. Because the Lord is setting things up. So, of course, he can let you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so Job 33, let's start at verse 15. It says, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. So this is the Lord doing this. He already sealing your instruction. So it's nothing for him to tell us the instruction that he sealed for somebody else. You know, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. See? He keepeth back his soul from the pit, and his life from perishing by the sword. So the Lord is in control of everything, man. You know, that's why, you know, it's just no need to be worrying, man. Okay, so going into the precepts on Proverbs 15 and 3, and they have Proverbs 5 and 21. For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord Yahawah, and he pondereth all his going. See? 2 Chronicles 16:9. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth. And you know that, he uses the angels, to scopeo everything, man, to look out on everything, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. See? Herein thou hast done foolishly, therefore from henceforth thou shalt have wars. But the point is, the Lord, his eyes run to and fro throughout the earth, man. This one is a dope one too, I thought. Job 34:21. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves. And you're not hiding from Yahawah Bashim Yahushua. The Lord knows all your works, man. Jeremiah 16:17. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. See? Jeremiah 23:24. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord Yahawah. Do not I fill heaven and earth? Saith the Lord. See? And Jeremiah 32:19, it says, Great in counsel and mighty in work, for thine eyes are open upon all the ways of the sons of men, to give everyone according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. And the last one they have is Hebrews 4:13. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. Woo. So it is what it is on that, man. So, I just, I seen that scripture last night, Spirit was just like, go to it, actually. So I read it, and then, your mind get to twirling. You get to thinking on things, meditating, and, but it's just, what I'm saying? Like the Lord, he knows all things. And you might, that's, like you might have a detour. You might have you might catch a damn flat. You might catch your battery may need to be charged, or, your car just won't start, or, you drop something, or you forget something. You go back in the house to get it. You know what I'm saying? Simple things like that. They may agitate the average person, but you should be thinking like, what man's goings of the Lord, and the Lord could actually be keeping you from the plans of a wicked nigga, man. Or keeping you from an accident, or keeping you from something that's going to happen, that's going to, that would, be detrimental to you or your family members or whatever. So you have to keep those particular things in mind, even when it comes to, because you have certain people, man, they can handle money, but some people can't. Imagine, you know what I'm saying? you all of a sudden you become a millionaire, and you were just, used to living check to check. That could destroy you, man. You know what I'm saying? It has destroyed a lot of people. A lot of people have hit the big game, hit lottery, and their stories on how it just destroyed their lives. They actually, would say that, I wish I had never won. Families get destroyed. And they might have already had a drug addiction. That gets worse because they're able to buy whatever they want now to get just super high. Alcoholic addiction, or whatever the case may be, stress in the family because of the money. He's not giving me no money. She's not giving me no money. You know what I'm saying? What about me? What about me? What about me? Motherfucker constantly calling your phone, tapping it. People have wrecked their lives, man, with stuff like that. That's just an example, though. But, just wanted to just touch on that. The Lord's eyes are everywhere. He can see everything. And you should be praying for that ability to see the future, prophesy, basically, you know what I'm saying? And number one, prophecy, you know what I'm saying? But, that ability to have that foreknowledge, though. Because when you read through Proverbs, you read through, Ecclesiastes, the books of wisdom, things of that nature. Actually, that's foreknowledge into what will happen to your ass if you've done certain things and what will happen if you didn't. It's that, I place life and death before you. So the Lord has given us we have a great window into the Lord's vision, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, by him showing us these scriptures, man. So be thankful that you're into this truth. Because see, you know, right now, we seeing the wars, rumors of wars going on. We're seeing the prophecies playing out in the world. We're seeing what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But you got people that's running around out here, motherfuckers out here still trying to party. But they out here just still doing their thing. Like today is Friday. These people still, they gonna find, don't matter how hot this damn gas get, don't matter how much the food, they still, as long as they, I was just listening to the elder in South Carolina, and he said something profound. He said, these motherfuckers not really gonna know until they hit their pockets. When that money get low, when they ain't got no money, and it's just like, okay, what should I, you know, when shit really just shut the fuck down, that's when it's gonna click, and it's gonna be, you know, overall too late for a lot of them, man. You know? But the Lord has given us this foreknowledge to say, hey, man, daily bread, get up, do what you have to do. You know, you got that motto of work, go to work, work out, do the work. Do the work, go to work, and work out. Try to stay in the best shape that you can stay in, you know, and you know, just continue praying, man. Because, again, let me get that, because I mentioned this since we in Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. And it says, trust the Lord. See? Salakia. All these damn places he could park, he come pulling right up next to me. Yeah, trust in the Lord, Yahawah, with all thine heart, and lean not into thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. See? Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear Yahawah, and depart from evil. That right, those are commandments, man, and that right there keep you right. See? Verse 8, it says, it shall be health to thy navel, and marrow to thy bones. See? Honor the Lord with what you just goes on. But you get the point. You know, trusting in Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai, man. Because it's that fear of Yahawah B'Shem Yahushai. That opens up everything. That opens you up to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Yasha Allah and a Baba Ball.